ओके। थोड़ा सा ना आज टीम वर्क की तरह काम करना, ठीक है। एक्ट लाइक यू आर द बोर्ड ऑफ अ कंपनी, ऑफ एनी एबीसी एंटरप्राइजेस। ओके, सो फॉर दैट आई नीड 3 people who can vote them as a CEO of the company. The first 3 people to send me in the chat will be the can be the CEO. So please fast. Who think that they can be the CEO? चिराग, निहारिका, वंशिका सिलेक्टेड। ओके, अब ये क्या सिलेक्शन है अपन आगे देखेंगे। ठीक है, आगे बढ़ते हैं। देखो, 3 पिक्चर आएंगी और 2 स्टेटमेंट होंगी। 2 minutes फॉर थिंकिंग अबाउट द टॉपिक, 30 seconds फॉर इंडिविजुअल स्पीकिंग। अब इन 30 seconds में जो भी आपको पिक्चर और स्टेटमेंट देख के मन में आए, यू हैव टू स्पीक दैट। ओके, 12 minutes for group discussion, in which 10 minutes discussion about the topic, about the picture and statement। 2 minutes summarize करना है एज अ बोर्ड कि सारे एम्प्लॉयज बहुत घबराए हुए हैं, तो बेस्ट सॉल्यूशन क्या है आप सबके अकॉर्डिंग। ओके, मतलब कंक्लूजन में बेस्ट सॉल्यूशन चाहिए। उसके बाद के जो 2 minutes होंगे, उसमें पूरे बोर्ड को ये डिसाइड करना है कि हु विल बी द सीईओ अमंग वंशिका, निहारिका एंड चिराग। और ये डिसाइड होगा बोर्ड में, जो भी जिस तरीके से परफॉर्म करेगा जी में। ठीक है, सो नो बडी विल टेक दिस डिसीजन, द बोर्ड विल टेक दिस। अंडरस्टूड? किसी को दिक्कत है?
No, sir.
ओके, लेट्स मूव फॉरवर्ड। You can see the pictures and 2 statements. Your 2 minutes thinking time starts now. Okay, let's start. Priyanshi.
Okay, so, sir, I will choose this topic 90-hour work week, burnout or success. So, sir, if I see that it is all, we should not like overburden the employees with so much of workload, because it will be very difficult for the employees to manage all the things if there will be a 90 work week. Irrespective, I know that productivity is the matter. Like for companies, productivity
Priyanshi,
is the
please
issue.
stop. Please stop. Please stop. Jyoti, go ahead.
I'm so sorry, I have this doubt. Do we need to connect all three or we need to say on one topic only?
किसी पे कुछ भी बोल सकते हैं, जरूरी नहीं है कोई चूज ही करना है। ठीक है।
Okay, we can connect it, right?
या
Okay. So, 90-hour work week was given by SN Subramaniam ji, LNT chairperson. He has suggested, we have various memes about the same. Why do you watch what do you do in your home time, sitting and idle and watch your wife, about it? I'm sorry.
ओके, सक्षम गो अहेड।
So to sustain in a longer run, a college degree is not that much significant. Bookworms are not generally welcomed. So skill development is comparatively more important. A person should focus on applying practical skills, developing them. If not, then she would be left behind.
निहारिका।
Yes. According to me, 90-hour work week is not practical because, given the fact that if we look at it perspective from 5 days, then it's around 18 hours, which is not at all practical, leaving no room for social interaction or personal health care. And if we look at 7 hours a week, then we have no holiday or break in between for employees, which would be eventually hampering the productivity of their work, which is not at all viable in long
निहारिका
run.
प्लीज स्टॉप,
Yeah, it
प्लीज स्टॉप।
seems.
पलक गो अहेड।
I believe the pictures and statements spark a very interesting question, especially after the recent statement by L&T Subramaniam. The controversy between whether a 90-hour work week will lead to burnout or success, or whether these skills can be learned. So we all know that it is not the productivity of an employee, the number of hours learned, or the skills they have attained is not linearly related. And I think that is very important to understand and work with when you look at this.
चिराग।
Hi, sir. So, 90-hour work week. This is a hot topic in these days. I'm little more inclined towards 90-hour, not a 90-hour work week, basically. As a I'm basically focusing towards quality of work, productivity of work, not the number of hours people push into working. As the corporates in this modern society needs more individuals who are more skilled, adaptant to AI, and more flexible to working.
वंशिका।
I'm sorry, did you call my name?
या
Okay, so I believe that talking from a layman perspective, the work needs to get done, no matter whether you're taking 90 hours or 70 hours or 40 hours for that matter. So nowadays, during the corporate culture, what is expected is that if there is a deadline of is reporting at 5 o'clock only, doesn't matter if he or she had already completed it beforehand. So that actually shows that the person is not interested in increasing. They know very clearly if they reported beforehand, then they would be increased, the workload would be resulting in increasing.
वंशिका
So
प्लीज स्टॉप, प्लीज स्टॉप। सोहानी।
It can be observed from the given images that work-life balance for employee is very important to be productive. Also, for skills, we should target for quality rather than quantity, and in order to be effective and efficient in the organization.
ओके, साक्षी। साक्षी, आर यू देयर?
Yes,
ओके,
sir.
या यू वर।
Sir, yes, sir. Sir, I would like to tell about urge of more literate and skilled employees because, sir, in order to talk about economic growth, a well-educated and skilled workforce is essential for economic growth. And, sir, in order to talk about technological field, so, sir, there are lots of changes which happened in technological field. So, sir, there is demand of IT professionals and like well-educated person. And sir, if
साक्षी
in
प्लीज
our
स्टॉप,
country,
साक्षी प्लीज स्टॉप। प्रथम।
okay,
Yes, sir. But we know that the L&T chairman suggested 90 hours a week. The L&T chairman also suggested the working on the Sundays to increase the productivity. Most of the business and an organization have a working time of 60 to 70 hours a week. That is minimum working hours for all the organization. Uh, for some of the employees, sir, a 70 hours a week working format is good because it helps them to do the work on the time.
Pratham, please stop. Okay, you can start the discussion.
So, from the individual comments, I believe we can all agree that at least majority of us can agree that 90-hour work week is not a practical solution. It would lead to poor work-life balance and maybe even decrease in productivity, which would be our major concern as board of members and for the company's growth. So, what we really need to do is hire more skilled employees, and these skills may not be learned by just working more hours a day. So we'll have to find some more practical solutions to hire these skilled employees or make them more skilled, teach them new things, and make sure they're actually efficiently working for the company.
I would also like to add to this particular statement by stating that considering that 90 hours or 70 hours, the number practically doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, you understand that the productivity is what matters. So instead of focusing on the number of hours, obviously, I think one of our panelists, one of our probably, members, that quality over quantity is what we need to focus on.
Yes, I do also want to add some point with Vanshika's point that it does not matter that how much hour we are working. It's of course the efficiency we are efficiency and effectively we are doing our work. So if we do like 90-hour work week concept, which was discussed by LNT Subramaniam, it is not. It is just leading to the so it is just creating pressure on employees because they are not able to maintain the proper balance between their work and life. So I think the all three aspects should be considered properly for the well functioning of the organization. Skills should also be prioritized.
I would
Also,
like
what
to
I
And
feel,
to Palak's point, I believe that rather than focusing on how much work our week should be there, we should focus on hiring much more literate and skilled employees, and especially hiring the right skills for the right job. With technology evolving, what are the key elements that are needing in AI field or with relevant fields? We need to look out for those skills so that our work could be much more efficient and could be done in much more lesser time, and the productivity could be much more effective rather than burning out the employees and hampering their mental health or physical health in the end of the day, and in long term hampering the image of our firm, or maybe hampering the productivity of our firm. We should not focus on the much on 90-hour work week. Rather, we should focus on how we can maintain a good work-life balance without hampering the productivity.
I would
I
like to
speak,
have
add on
I
debating.
would
Palak
like to add
and
something. Speaking in the same line as Vanshu already said. I think 90-hour work week. I think this is burnout definitely, as it is very short term in nature. I mean, one employee can work for 90 hours, but for like a year or two. But for a definitive growth of a company or a business, there has to be a strategic plan, which needs to be a long term, and
I
which I
have.
feel.
Focusing on the previous topic, I would also like to add on, considering like all of the members are probably focusing on that we should hire the literate and skilled employees. What happens is that considering the education system in which we are living in right now, actually a great hindrance that we are not able to find the appropriate amount, the appropriate likelihood of the employees. So what I believe is that right now it's important that obviously we would be considering the skilled employees, but if we are not able to find the same, it's important that we make the person motivated enough that the probably focusing on upgrading himself so that he probably becomes the best fit for the particular job employment.
I have deviating perspective than all of the ones who have previously spoken before me. So we cannot totally negate the 90-hour work week for high amount of hours of work week. There are industries which are labor intensive, and I believe those industries require high amount of work time to be given. Maybe manufacturing, maybe construction, or maybe production. So I believe we cannot totally
Sorry,
negate the idea.
I
I
believe
would
the
like to
section that
differ with the Saksham's viewpoint. As for a company needs to be a global superpower, I think considering US, they are mostly like 30 to 35 companies which are IB based companies, not imagine manufacturing based or based on a labor intensive, like
But
CEO,
Chirag,
like Google and Microsoft companies like these.
Chirag, we must consider the fact that the next upcoming superpowers like China, they are manufacturing intensive. They
I think
require high amount of work
China's
hours.
growth is very stagnant comparing it with like 40 trillion economies like US or
But they are
American
also
city.
$20 trillion economy. We cannot forget that. They're already massive.
But the
So
growth rate
that
is
is
like
true, but we're not
hovering around
running
4
into
to
it.
5%.
But
For
we're not
considering
running
an
into it.
emerging economy like India needs to shift from manufacturing or agriculture-based economy to a IP-based or a technological-based economy. It require less capital, less employees, and would definitely tap more market. So it is not required
Adding
to have more people in the business.
adding to Vanchika's point, besides focusing on because I agree that the education system plays a hindrance, not getting the right skills for according to our requirement. Besides giving them the right motivation, what we can also inculcate is providing them with the basic right training programs, which will inculcate them with those skills which we are looking with after of course they meet the certain criteria according to us, then to make them more efficient or make them more polished in that area, we can inculcate with proper training programs so to enhance their skills, which will only result in enhancing our productivity in the end of the day.
Exactly. Thinking from the employer perspective, it's very important that at the end of the day, your employees are motivated enough. No matter whether what they matter what their educational background is. It happens a lot of time that the person is not ready to put in their 100%, forget about 50% or 60% or that 90-hour work week which you're talking about. So, involving them, so maybe giving them sort of positive or negative motivation, whichever is possible, on our part is very important.
In fact, talking
Yes, sir.
about
I
To that
motivation, this
also.
point,
90-hour work week can work as a negative motivation because
Exactly.
employees thinking that in the end of the day, no matter if I completed my work
Yes.
beforehand, still I have to stay in the office and work more hours, regardless that my work has been completed. That's a very negative impact, and which will, at the end of the day, they'll start work lacking. All right, I'll just drag out my deadlines or drag out my work, the work which could have been completed much more earlier would be dragged out for a while, which will hamper our company's productivity. So right motivation needs to be given. Also we to give them more motivation, we can inculcate in practices giving them incentives or promotion or maybe non-monetary facilities which will motivate them to prosper and enhance their work so that at the end of the day firm is growing and making more profits.
so I think we need to conclude it as we have already discussed it for 10 minutes. And I believe if everyone agrees with me, 90-hour work week will be the burnout for a person, because in India we have 46.7 hours per week, average per week to work upon, and 70 hours or 90 hours is a far away journey. And if everyone agrees with my point that 90-hour a week is a burnout, we'll conclude to this statement about this.
Agreed.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
I agree completely.
So the majority of the
Yeah, I do.
students agree on the conclusion of 90-hour week being a burnout. So we conclude.
Just a second. Really sorry, Jyoti. I don't want to cut you out, but I think Saksham had a different point of view. So,
But
But
I would like
majority
to
of
add one more point in this conclusion. I believe that I totally agree that 90 hour work week could be a burnout for an individual. But we must consider the fact that when it is necessity, people have to follow that. And we
certainly.
cannot totally negate the idea of 90-hour work week.
but the thing is, majority of the students agree with 90-hour work week being a burnout. So we need to come to a conclusion, common consensus. So we should.
Also pondering upon Saksham's point of view, I think 90-hour work week is possible in those scenarios when company or economy is going through
Hmm.
a tough situation, a situation which definitely requires more personal, more working hours,
Exactly. We're talking
and
about the
with short term
Yes.
very.
executive positions.
And 90 hours work week is also like we can offer them, if we offer them a good incentive or something, and if
Yes,
we
agreed.
motivate them to work 90 hours, then it is feasible. Otherwise, employer will just think that why we are working, and if they are not getting any recognition in return after working a lot, so it will be of no use. So if they are working, if we want them to work 90 hours, then we should obviously give them some good incentives in return.
I believe
uh,
from the short-term
I
perspective, it might work out.
Yes, short
I
term
believe
perspective
let's
is.
not negate Saksham at in hand. agreeing to the point that 90-hour work week won't work for our firm. It's a good point that he has put up, but it might work out in some other scenario. For this scenario, I believe that 90-hour work week would not inculcate with our firm's goals. So, nonetheless, that Saksham has a good point. I think we should move on with the majority that it won't be practical for our firm's decision.
Yes,
I think we have
exactly.
collected
Because
enough viewpoints of everyone presented here.
agreeing to 90 are not being a success for us.
I have more literate and skilled employees compared with the number of hours they put into the work.
Middle ground here, we all agree that quality definitely matters over quantity and hierarchy. Some good points were also brought up about efficiency and productivity.
Palak, I'm really sorry to interrupt, but I think your voice is not very clear. Is it just me or some other people are also facing this?
No. Palak, your voice is not clear.
Okay,
Could you tell me if it's better now?
Yes.
better.
All right, so I was just saying that I think we've reached a middle ground here. We all agree, like Vanchika highlighted, that quality is preferred over quantity. And we also talked about efficiency and productivity and how that overpassed the number of hours. But we also had points that explained how the number of hours can, in fact, be useful in some labor intensive industries. And that is not entirely supposed to be abandoned either. We also discussed how the education system does not offer the most holistic development for an individual. Therefore, the skills that we look for are supposed to be the correct skills for the job. And it doesn't have to be there from the get go. It can also be inculcated in the employees through training programs. So, and a very important point that was mentioned by Vanchika and Niharika, that motivation is an extremely important point that Priyanshi also added to later. That if you're able to motivate the employees to work for even more than 90 hours, and it is therefore feasible, then that works out for us very well, and they will be able to balance their work and life even with the number of hours they're giving to the company.
I believe that Palak has have pretty much summarized the whole discussion of it.
Yes.
Guys, please discuss about who will be the next CEO if you have concluded.
That we would be discussing that.
Yeah, obviously the board will be discussed. The board will going to tell me that who will be the CEO. Okay.
Okay.
2 minutes. You have 2 minutes.
I
As
believe
board members,
Vanshika should be the CEO, as she
Thank you
has
so much.
given and put up many points with whole of the points we are looking forward to. And I believe Vanshika should be the one.
I think Chirag can also be a good candidate for the CEO because rather than simply adding to the points or being understanding, which is also a very good quality in a CEO, I think he has the skills to also be able to fight a point of an employee and also understand the perspective that comes from a very opposite ground. So to have that viewpoint and be able to understand something that you did not agree with initially, I think that's
Initially,
According to
Vanshika
me,
has said about when I concluded this statement, basically about 90 hours, she helped Saksham give his viewpoints, which is a very good quality for a CEO to look upon his every employees and directors, which is an important point to be noted for her personality.
yes, so like Vanchika, though everyone was good who speak, but personally I feel Vanchika because she was cooperating throughout the GD, she was taking care of everyone, like everyone should speak their points, and that's the quality of CEO that they should think about everyone and let them speak. And she was not cutting down to on anyone's point.
So from a CEO perspective, our main concern is our main stakeholders. Basically, they are employees of the company. And thinking about them, basically we have concluded to a viewpoint that 90-hour work week is mostly a burnout for them rather than success. And a 4 to 5 day work week would be a topic to discuss. And also, the discussion is more inclined towards having more literate and skilled employees, and the productivity being the matter of biggest concern of the board.
I'm really sorry, Pranav, sir, but I'm not able to understand how would we go forward. Like,
We can try voting. I'm sure that would work out. There's a few of us in the meeting. We can vote for the preferred CEO. And if somebody is against the CEO chosen, we can discuss those points too.
Completely agreed.
Yeah, agreed.
You have a minute only, board members. Please be fast.
I would like to vote for Vanshika.
So I got okay. Let's do one thing. Let's I would probably write it down. So I would call in the name, and if it's possible, just if you have decided in your probably your vote, so you could tell the name. So should I start with Jyoti said my name?
Yes.
Okay, and Chirag obviously would you are part of the candidacy, and then you got Nihar. Oh, sorry, Niharika is there. Palak.
I'd like to vote for Chirag, but if the majority goes with Vanshika, I'm completely fine with that.
Okay, so Palak and sorry, Vanshika and Chirag. Then we go to Pratham.
I'd like to vote for you.
Okay, thank you so much. Next is Priyanshi.
Vanchika, you.
Thank you. Next is Saksham.
Vanshika, you.
Thank you. Sakshi.
Vansika, you.
Thank you. Suhani.
Chirag.
Sorry,
Vanshika,
two.
it seems unfair. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry, I'm really sorry.
Completely okay, sorry.
Nee, it's okay. Be the best person win. That's all I would like to say.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, bro.
Are you obviously, yeah, I know that you're kidding.
10-6, 10-6.
Okay,
Okay,
Vanshika.
Suhani, would you
Vanshika.
mind if Vanchika was the CEO?
No, okay, I'll go with the majority.
All right, then it's.
So, Vanshika?
Yes.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay, let's end this.
Should we focus on immunization?
Yeah. Okay. So,